Welcome again. Now it's time to install the necessary tools and IDs and softwares. First of all, we need to go to our Flutter official website, that means flutter.dev, and from here simply click Get Started. And you will be redirected to a page where you will be given some options before you start installing. And these are the options we need to choose among them based on the platform we are currently in. For example, I am sitting on a Windows machine, so I'm going to install Flutter for Windows. If you are sitting on a Mac OS, then you should click this option. If you are on a Linux machine, then you should go for this, and Chrome OS as well. So the installation procedure is almost same and very easy. It requires actually few steps to do that. And since I am on a Windows machine, I will click or go inside this option. So I'm clicking Windows. And before we download the Flutter SDK from here, you need to check that whether your current Windows operating system is Windows 10 and of course 64-bit, or maybe 86 or 64 based, and also you have a disk space available 1.64 gigabyte, and also you need to install Flutter PowerShell, but you don't need to install because it is pre-installed in Windows 10, but you need to install Git for Windows. So first of all, you need to go to this link and you have to select this option, because if your Windows is 64-bit. So simply click this option and it will download an exe file, and I have already downloaded that and I have already installed that. Installing Git is very easy. All you have to do is click the installer from your download folder and just click yes and next. That's it, and Git will be installed in your computer. Okay, after you install Git, then you need to download this Flutter SDK, and this is the current stable version 3.13.3, and it is actually a zip file. And if you click this, and it will start downloading, and I have already downloaded this Flutter SDK, this zip version, and I have saved the SDK to C drive, and I created a new folder called SRC, and inside this we have our zip folder over here. So if you go through the documentation, it says that we should not put the SDK in a path where it contains special characters or spaces, and of course you should not put the SDK in a directory or in a path like something like that that requires elevated privileges. So that I have created a new folder inside my C drive over here and SRC, and then inside I have put my Flutter SDK. All you need to do or all I need to do is unzip this. That means let me click right button and then extract here. So it will be extracted and we will get a Flutter folder over here. So give me some few times. So the file has been extracted, and this is the Flutter folder, the actual SDK folder. And this folder actually contains all the necessary files for Flutter SDK. And now all we have to do is we need to add the Flutter SDK path to the system variables so that system can recognize Flutter. And if you go to through the documentation, it also says that how to update your path, where to go, and if you use the console you have to go through these lines. But the easiest way is, first of all, you need to go inside this Flutter folder and also go inside this bin. That means source, then Flutter, then bin, and then copy this path. Okay, so I'm copying this, and then you go to the run console or search bar over here and just type system environment or environment variables. So this is the option, edit the system environment variables. Just click it and then go to the settings go to the environment variable, this button. So click this, and then you should find a variable called path over here. And if you don't any variable called path in this list, then you should create new and then create a variable called path, P with the capital, and then paste the line whatever you have copied from. And if you already have a path variable in this list, then simply select that and then edit and then press new and then paste that and simply press OK. And sometimes we need to update or we need to put the path for the Dart SDK as well. Sometimes it is required, sometimes not, but it is better to add the Dart SDK as well. And the Dart SDK, we don't need to download the Dart SDK separately, but you can always do that, because if you want to develop an application based on Dart programming language, not a Flutter application but a Dart application, for example a Dart server or whatnot, then you should go to dart.dev, and from here you should actually download the Dart SDK. But we are going to use Flutter, and the good thing is inside the Flutter SDK, a Dart SDK also been included. And if you go to this source Flutter folder, and inside the Flutter folder you will have another folder called maybe bin, and okay, you need to go to the bin folder and then go cache, and here you see there is a Dart SDK a folder. So go inside that Dart SDK folder, go inside bin, and now copy this path and copy this and go again to the environment variables over here, and then go to environment variables, select that path and then edit, and simply click new and update, or simply paste the Dart SDK path over here. And then you should move this over this Flutter bin. So just click move up so that it can stay on top of Flutter bin or Flutter SDK path, and then click OK and OK. And this is all about installing the Flutter SDK. You have to do nothing. And now the next thing will be installing the IDE, that means the tools where we actually write our code. So before we do that, and let me just go to the installation folder once again, and if you are on a Mac environment, you should go to this option and simply follow the instructions, because if you use Mac, then you know the way around, you are familiar with the Mac environment, and you will recognize all the things that is documented over here. Just read through the documentations and you will find a way around. And if it confuses you, then you should go to YouTube and just type how to install Flutter on Mac OS, and there will be thousands and tons of videos that will show you how to install Flutter on Mac OS. But whenever you learn something from YouTube, make sure that the video is not no longer than 6 months old or 3 months old. So always watch the latest videos, because sometimes the documentation changes or the procedure changes, so we should always watch the updated videos. But trust me, these are very simple procedures. If you are familiar with Mac OS or Mac environment, then this will be like a very easy thing for you. So let's go to the next lecture, where we will install our favorite IDE, where we will actually write our codes.